Hello, everybody. We're doing a new album update, and because me and my wife have been gifting each other a lot of records lately, this is the first time that my wife Elijah will be on camera with me.
Hi.
So, we're gonna awkwardly go through this, and hope you all enjoy it. And we're gonna do a lot more of these because we do gift each other a lot of records a lot of the time. So I'm gonna let my wife go with her first record that I gave her so far. So
Okay, so Josh bought me a lot of CDs to increase my collection because unlike him, I'm the type to just search up music online and listen to it. I don't really collect things so that I can, add it to my digital library later. So, without further ado, here's my first. Woo. Okay. So I'm a big industrial fan, and I like industrial type bands and things like that. So Josh kind of went through the gambit and went looking for stuff for me. So the very first one is Front 242's Religion. If you can see that right there. No, probably not. Anyway, it's I just started listening to this album. I used to listen to Front 242 kind of just throughout, like whenever it would pop up on Pandora, YouTube, whatever. I would just listen to the music online, but I never really kind of like got albums and things like that to actually go through. And so far, I'm really enjoying a lot of the stuff that he got me over this past week. So that was the first one.
it's probably like definitely different listening to industrial music as a full album, right? It's not, because when you listen to a song, it seems like a lot of the songs are like, wow, that was great. But you listen to like individual tracks and you're like, wow, that whole album wasn't what I thought it was.
Well, too, a lot of bands tend to like make a story out of their entire album. So when you're only listening to one song, you're only getting a piece of that story. So it's just really nice to like be able to listen to everything as a whole. I mean, especially with Religion, you're kind of like, every single thing is mixed and remixed by different people. Like, you have the Prodigy Trance You Down mix and a whole bunch of other really cool things going on here. And I'm like going through this big pile of things that Josh got me. So like, it's kind of, I'm working my way through it.
You're a really big Prodigy fan too, right?
I like Prodigy a lot, but I mean, that's a different genre altogether. Anyway, okay, so next is Skinny Puppy, Too Dark Park. Now, like, Skinny Puppy kind of holds a special place in my heart. That's like middle school days is when I started listening to that stuff a long time ago, and it's just really nice to finally start getting albums that you really like and things like that, stuff that you can actually enjoy in your spare and not just have to sift through the internet for something to listen to. I guess I'm like a lazy music listener compared to Josh. Josh dedicates and goes out and gets albums and CDs and like actually, like collects the things that he really, really likes, whereas I just kind of like let it come to me. So I'm really fortunate that like he keeps me going with things that I like, and newer stuff I'm getting introduced to that I hadn't listened to before. Like, I had never heard of this album. It's Clock Diva, The Hacker, The Act. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but so this one's a new one for me that I'm actually getting ready to listen to this coming week. So let's see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be pretty awesome, and because he's always pretty good at picking out some stuff. Now here's another Control Z, System Failure. Sorry, I'm getting like a lot of reflection off from the computer. But Josh he did a really great job with this pickup. So now we have another Front 242, and this is Headhunter. Now, I remember listening to this EP a while back. Like, I had heard Headhunter, but I didn't know there was like a special EP album. So there's Headhunter, Welcome to Paradise, and Headhunter version 2. So this was really exciting for me to kind of like find. I didn't know that there was an EP specifically for that. And now Frontline Assembly by Chris. Yeah, this right here is like close to home for me because I remember like listening to Frontline Assembly so much when I was in high school.
That was like one of the ones we really like gelled over was Frontline Assembly. Just even Skinny Puppy, just because it was so hard. It kind of like mixed the genre gap, and I think we really like, my wife's a little more into the whole dubstep techno aspect of things, so it kind of gelled really well with us.
I mean, dubstep, techno, electronic, like I practically listen to all the stuff that Josh doesn't normally listen to, but we listen to a lot of similar styles of music. And there's still a lot that I'm learning about because I don't know, I guess for me, I always enjoyed playing drums and being in bands and playing music and things like that, but I don't know, I never dedicated the time to it that most of my other musician friends did, listening to music regularly, finding out bands, researching bands and all about their history and all this stuff. I never really did any of that stuff, but Josh does, and so I've been doing that a lot more lately, and it's kind of interesting to hear how these bands come together and tours that they do and things like that. But so this has been a really amazing experience for me. Not only one of the many treasures of being married, but like just enjoying like learning about all these bands.
Do you want to do 5 and 5?
Oh, sure, yeah.
That way we split it up pretty. That way, yeah. So Elijah, the other day, she came home, and her stack's pretty industrial. So, my musical purchase that she got me obviously was like my kind of version of industrial, which would have been. Well, let me show you this first. This is the box that came in. I'm not actually wearing the shirt right now, but this is Rob Zombie's. It's a limited edition CD single for his new album that just came out. So, me and her really bonded over Rob Zombie, whether it was through movies or music or anything Rob Zombie, really. I mean, Rob Zombie's a beast, but it came with a small, thin CD EP sleeve and the CD on it, and it came with a shirt, which I'm sure you guys will see me wearing sooner or later. It was really, really cool. Definitely different than what I'm probably used to as far as Rob Zombie. His later work, the guitar player and the musicians have kind of switched up. And since me and my wife are musicians, we tend to like really kind of cut that stuff apart, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be drums or, John 5's guitar work, and we really, like, now that we're married and we're like, oh, that bass player, oh, he sounds great, or that guitar player sounds great, that drummer sounds great. Stuff that we probably wouldn't have kind of cut apart before that we do now, which is pretty interesting as far as stuff like that. So that's my first one. And this...
I feel like I went through this so quickly. Josh is so much more seasoned at this than I am.
Yeah, well, we'll get you there very quickly. You're already feeling pretty good about it. I bought 3 records on Amazon from band me and Elijah pretty much both like. Their name is Elder. They're like a sludge metal band. What were we watching? Oh man, it's a radio station out of Seattle.
Was it Seek, Kill, Destroy?
Something like that. It was something like that. But we watch a lot of their stuff, as far as bands that they like to put on. I think, I believe Elder was on there. If not, it was on something that was related to that. But I bought their 3 albums that they've released so far, not including the EPs and stuff. This is their first record, which to us really sounded like... We're really big Sleep fans. Really like Al and Mike and Chris. Chris is not in the band anymore, but we're really big High on Fire fans too. But this album really, to us, sounded like Sleep quite a bit. But what was interesting was when you go into the second album, which I haven't even opened yet, because we digitally downloaded it, Dead Root Stirring. The instrumentation really kind of takes on this like progressive rock vibe that was really interesting to us. I really like that they kind of have this almost ambient tone to them in their interludes and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty interesting of like a stoner metal band that kind of had that sort of thing in there and totally throw you off guard or where you're going. So that was really cool, and it's even more prevalent. I mean, which will we get to this album, which would be Lore by Elder. Yet again, I haven't opened it yet, but Lore seems like something you would have heard off of if Black Sabbath and Pink Floyd had a like brainchild together. That's probably what it would have sounded like, and for good reason. I mean, it seems like almost a natural progression to go from like heavy to kind of, you know, giving up these ambient soundscapes and kind of adding breath to the overall work, which is really what I was interested in. So that was that purchase, which is really cool. I ended up paying $30 on Amazon, which to me, you know, now that me and Elijah are buying a lot more CDs, it seems like we're paying, you know, not to go into the money aspect, but we're paying way less than we were for vinyl records. It's almost $40 for one vinyl record, so it just seems you get maybe a lot more bang for your buck out of the CDs for the same.
Well, I mean, I think it just depends on where you shop for things.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
you know, a good amount of the vinyl records that you have acquired has been fairly affordable, and I think it's just kind of like knowing what thrift stores and you know, I guess when they have those kind of like antique events or things like that, some people think vinyl records are antiques and they'll sell those out too by the dollar.
Yeah, well, I definitely think metal releases and industrial releases definitely are very expensive nowadays.
Well, I think all music is pretty expensive nowadays. I mean, even your favorite pop star or whatever out there, whoever you like is in pop music, they'll be selling their CD for like $20, sometimes $30-something, $35 for limited edition type stuff, and it's just
Sam
the
Smith.
CD.
Sam Smith was on your top list, and that stuff was like $50.
Well, there was remastered stuff and limited, but yeah, I can't help it. I'm a sucker for really nice voices. I like singers that can hit all kinds of ranges and things like that. And I guess in a way, like me listening to Sam Smith is kind of like when Alice Cooper said he respected Celine Dion's singing voice. Like, I think it's just like, you know, it's not something that like I would say is my sole purpose for listening to music, but I appreciate it and I respect it. So
last one, and I got this, and you know, it might not be the most rare of his releases, but it's just great to have something by him that's an original on CD, and it's just not something you see in the wild every day. And even my wife said, you know, she was very kind of excited that we got it. I mean, devoid of, you know, whatever you think of this artist, you know, he's a very controversial figure in almost every sort of way. This is Burzum's Umskenter, which was just, it was a really great release, I think, not only because of the fact that, you know, it's Burzum and it's a legendary black metal release, but it was totally something different that I think he's never really kind of done before, which was really cool to hear. You know, there was kind of spoken words. There was a lot of interesting like interludes and stuff like that on the record, which was really cool to hear as well. But not only that, I think the production value was actually really clean as opposed to his much earlier releases, which me and Elijah had listened to, and they really sound like they were probably made in a garage somewhere in Norway and done with the most horrible microphone, which Varg actually admits to. So that is pretty much the end of that as far as that goes. I mean, I liked it really because the production was really, really different on it. So we are going to cut it off here because we're already quite some time in. This is me and Elijah's first album update together, and we're gonna release a second one, and hopefully there'll be more to come. So please stay tuned, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.